Have you ever wondered why some online stores explode overnight, while others with better products struggle to get noticed? The difference isn't what you think it is. It's not about having the perfect product or the lowest prices. It's about something much more powerful that most store owners completely overlook. Today, I'm going to show you the exact rebranding strategy that transforms struggling online stores into million-dollar businesses. And by the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap to revolutionize your own store. But first, let me tell you about Sarah. She was running an online jewelry store that was barely making $1,000 a month. Her products were beautiful, her prices were competitive, but something wasn't clicking. Then she discovered this rebranding framework I'm about to share with you, and within 6 months, her monthly revenue jumped to over $50,000. The crazy part? She didn't change a single product. She simply transformed how her brand was perceived. This transformation didn't happen by accident. There's a science behind successful rebranding, and it starts with understanding something most entrepreneurs get completely wrong. They think rebranding means getting a new logo or changing their color scheme. That's not rebranding. That's just redesigning. True rebranding goes much deeper, and it starts with your brand's core identity. Let me break down the 5 pillars of the transformation strategy that Sarah used, and thousands of other successful store owners have implemented. The first pillar is brand archaeology. This might sound fancy, but it's actually quite simple. You need to dig deep into what your brand currently represents versus what you want it to represent. Most store owners skip this step entirely and jump straight into the visual changes, which is why their rebrands fail. Brand archaeology involves 3 critical questions. First, what story is your current brand telling without you even realizing it? Second, what emotions are customers experiencing when they interact with your brand? And third, what beliefs do your customers have about your brand that might be limiting your growth? When Sarah answered these questions honestly, she realized her jewelry store was telling the story of being just another accessories vendor, when what she really wanted was to represent personal empowerment and self-expression. The second pillar is competitive differentiation, but not in the way you might expect. Most entrepreneurs look at their competitors and try to copy what's working for them. This is exactly backwards. Successful rebranding requires you to identify the gaps in your market and position yourself as the opposite of your competition. When everyone in your industry zigs, you need to zag. Sarah discovered that every other jewelry store in her niche was focusing on trends and fashion. Instead of competing in that crowded space, she repositioned her brand around timeless pieces that tell personal stories. While her competitors were selling jewelry, she started selling meaning. This shift in positioning allowed her to charge premium prices because she was no longer competing on features or price. She was competing on emotional value. The third pillar is customer avatar evolution. Here's what most people don't understand about rebranding. Your current customers might not be your ideal customers. Sometimes, successful rebranding means deliberately moving away from your existing customer base to attract a more valuable segment. This sounds scary, but it's often necessary for breakthrough growth. Sarah realized she was attracting bargain hunters who only bought during sales. Through her rebrand, she specifically targeted women who valued craftsmanship and personal expression over price. She lost some of her bargain hunting customers, but the new customers she attracted had 3 times the lifetime value. The math was simple. Losing 100 customers worth $10 each to gain 50 customers worth $100 each is always a winning trade. Now let's talk about the fourth pillar, which is narrative transformation. This is where the magic really happens. Every successful brand tells a compelling story, but most online stores are terrible storytellers. They focus on product features instead of customer transformation. Your rebrand needs to shift your narrative from what you sell to what your customers become. Sarah's old narrative was about selling beautiful jewelry at affordable prices. Her new narrative became about helping women express their authentic selves through meaningful accessories. Notice the difference? The old narrative was product-focused. The new narrative was transformation-focused. This shift allowed her to create content, marketing messages, and product descriptions that resonated on a much deeper emotional level. The fifth and final pillar is systematic implementation. This is where most rebranding efforts fall apart. People get excited about the strategy, but fail in the execution. Successful rebranding requires a systematic approach that touches every aspect of your business simultaneously. You can't just change your website and expect everything else to fall into place. Sarah created what I call a brand transformation timeline. She identified every customer touchpoint, from her social media profiles to her packaging, from her email sequences to her customer service scripts. Then she systematically updated each touchpoint to reflect her new brand identity over a period of 3 months. This coordinated approach created a cohesive brand experience that felt authentic and intentional. But here's the part that most people struggle with. How do you know if your rebrand is working? There are specific metrics you need to track, and they're not the ones you might expect. Yes, revenue is important, but it's a lagging indicator. The leading indicators of a successful rebrand are customer lifetime value, average order value, and customer acquisition cost. When Sarah's rebrand started working, she first noticed that her average order value increased. Customers were buying more items per purchase because they trusted the brand more. Then she noticed that her customer acquisition cost decreased because her marketing messages were resonating better with her ideal customers. Finally, her customer lifetime value increased because she was attracting customers who valued what she offered rather than just hunting for deals. Let me share another example to illustrate how powerful this framework can be. There was a fitness supplement store owner named Marcus who was struggling to compete with the major brands. His products were high quality, but he was getting lost in a sea of similar-looking supplement stores. Using this same 5-pillar approach, he repositioned his brand from selling supplements to supporting busy professionals who want to maintain their health without spending hours in the gym. This repositioning allowed him to create targeted content, develop specific product bundles, and craft marketing messages that spoke directly to his ideal customers' pain points. Within 4 months, his conversion rate doubled, and his average order value increased by 60%. The products didn't change, but the way he presented them to the market transformed everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how do you actually implement this in your own store? Let me walk you through the exact process, step by step. First, you need to conduct your brand archaeology. Set aside a full day to really examine your current brand position. Look at your website through the eyes of a first-time visitor. What impression does it give? What story does it tell? What emotions does it evoke? Next, analyze your competition, but not in the traditional way. Instead of looking at what they're doing right, look for what they're all doing the same. These similarities represent opportunities for differentiation. If everyone in your industry uses the same color scheme, consider using something completely different. If everyone focuses on price, focus on value or experience instead. The third step is to redefine your customer avatar. This isn't just about demographics like age and income. You need to understand their psychographics. What do they believe? What do they fear? What do they aspire to become? The more specific you can be about your ideal customer's internal world, the more effectively you can speak to them through your rebrand. Fourth, craft your new brand narrative. This should be a clear story about transformation. Your customers are the hero of this story. Your products are the tools they use, and your brand is the guide that helps them along their journey. This narrative should be consistent across every piece of content you create and every interaction you have with customers. Finally, create your implementation timeline. Don't try to change everything at once. That's overwhelming and often leads to inconsistent execution. Instead, Prioritize your touchpoints based on their impact on customer experience. Start with your homepage and main product pages, then move to your social media profiles, email sequences, and finally, your packaging and other physical materials. There's one crucial mistake I need to warn you about. Many store owners get so excited about their rebrand that they announce it to their existing customers like it's a major news event. This is usually a mistake. Your rebrand should feel natural and evolutionary, not jarring or dramatic. Let your customers discover the changes gradually rather than shocking them with a complete transformation overnight. Remember, successful rebranding is about becoming more authentically yourself, not becoming someone else entirely. The goal is to clarify and amplify what makes your brand unique, not to copy what's working for others. Sarah's success came from doubling down on what made her brand special, not from trying to be like everyone else. The timing of your rebrand also matters. The best time to rebrand is when you're already seeing some success, but feel like you've hit a plateau. If you're completely starting from scratch, focus on building initial traction before investing heavily in rebranding. But if you have an established store that's stuck, rebranding can be the catalyst for breakthrough growth. As you implement this strategy, expect some resistance, both from yourself and from your existing customers. Change is uncomfortable, even when it's positive. Some of your current customers might not like the new direction, and that's okay. Remember, the goal isn't to make everyone happy, it's to attract and serve your ideal customers better than anyone else can. One final thought about measuring success. Don't judge your rebrand based on immediate sales numbers alone. Brand transformation is a longer-term investment that pays dividends over time. Focus on engagement metrics, customer feedback, and the quality of customers you're attracting. These leading indicators will tell you if you're on the right track long before the revenue numbers reflect the change. The online marketplace is more competitive than ever, but that also means there are more opportunities than ever for brands that stand out. Your rebrand isn't just about looking different, it's about being different in a way that matters to your ideal customers. When you get this right, you don't just transform your store, you transform your entire business trajectory. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe for more strategies on building a successful online business. In the next video, I'll be diving deep into the specific tactics for implementing your brand transformation across all your marketing channels. Until then, start working on your brand archaeology, and I'll see you in the next one.